It'll be a busy place this weekend for sure as folks look to cool off. But you know what, guys? The coast is even included in that heat advisory. It's going to get quite warm there as well. And I'll show you that in a second. Also, to the point about the water behind me, let's go ahead and show you the Rose City Sky Camera, of course, downtown and the Willamette River. The downtown water temperature right now, as measured at the Morrison Bridge, is 60 degrees. So that's chilly, right? But some of those upper high creeks and streams are on the order of upper 40s, and you can get cold water shock in that deep and swift running mountain water very, very quickly. So some really good advice there to watch out for that as you look to escape the heat this weekend. All right, highs today. Well, 84 in Portland and Vancouver. That, here in Portland, represents our warmest day of the year. And incidentally, it's just our third 80-degree day of the year. So, you know, not lost in some of this should be the fact that we have had a kind of a cool spring and we're not really used to this heat. So I think even with the lower 90s in the forecast tomorrow, it's going to come a bit of a shock to the system, and it gets even warmer from there as we go into Sunday. And I'll show you that temperature forecast in just a second. As we mentioned before, a heat advisory is in effect for essentially all of Western Oregon and Washington from the Cascades west. And that means even up in the Cascades, if you're camping this weekend, it's going to be quite warm. Freezing levels will be as high as 15 or 16,000 feet. South Central Oregon also included in that heat advisory. Visible satellite imagery showing not much other than, once again, the snow-capped Cascade Peaks. Other than that, there is hardly any cloud cover here over the Pacific Northwest, and we will likely remain in and under similar sky conditions tomorrow. Here's FutureCast tomorrow afternoon. Once again, I draw that yellow line on there, and you're probably saying, well, what is that? That is a heat-driven thermal trough. That is a heat-driven trough of low pressure, and what that is basically lower pressure because of the heat developing here west of the Cascades, and that will induce a fairly gusty east wind through the Columbia River Gorge and coming downslope off the Cascades. And that downsloping wind is a compressional wind. You're bringing air from higher in elevation and bringing it lower, and as you compress the air, it heats even faster, so you get added heating. And so we're going to see a pretty quick warm-up tomorrow. The trough dissipates a little bit on Sunday, but the heat probably peaks out on Sunday. I roll FutureCast into Monday afternoon because you see the wind direction shift. That little cloud bank along the Oregon coast means the beach sees relief on Monday. We will probably have to wait until Tuesday for inland valleys to see significant relief, but eventually it will cool off. So happy to tell you that. But in the meantime, a breezy and warm day tomorrow. FutureCast pegs east wind gusts on the order of 30 miles an hour here in Portland on Saturday afternoon. And with that, temperatures will be climbing into the lower 90s. That's what FutureCast shows us here tomorrow afternoon. At the beach, again, a sunny and warm day tomorrow. 87 in Pacific City. Are you kidding me? How about 94 out towards the east end of the gorge out in the Dalles? By the way, you folks in Central and Eastern Oregon, the warmest days for you during this latest heat stretch will probably be Monday. So Central Oregon tomorrow actually is just feeling the beginning of that warm-up. Madras may get to 90 up and down the I-5 corridor. I've got us in the lower 90s tomorrow as FutureCast depicts. Hey, real quick, a lot of folks are like, hey, I like the cooler weather. Well, there's no sign that this weather is going to just run on and on and on. I just showed you the temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. The early indications are for the 4th of July holiday, we're back to some comfortable weather. So guys, just 3 days of heat here, and then we're back down to stuff that is more tolerable for our Northwest taste buds.
Back into the comfort zone. That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.